The Inheritance of Loss. The Inheritance of Loss is a novel written by Kieran Desai and published in 2006 by Hamish Hamilton. It is a story that interweaves the lives of two very different families, one Indian and one British, as they struggle to find their place in the world. The Inheritance of Loss is a captivating and thought-provoking novel by Kieran Desai that delves deep into the complexities of identity, displacement, and cultural clash. Set against the backdrop of political unrest in India, the novel tells the story of two characters, Sai and Biju, whose lives are forever changed by the events unfolding around them. Through their experiences, Desai explores a range of themes, including the impact of colonialism on Indian society, the legacy of political unrest, and the struggle for self-discovery in a world that is constantly changing. The Inheritance of Loss is set in the mid-1980s in a small village called Kalimpong, located in the Indian state of West Bengal. The novel follows the lives of several characters who live in the village, including a retired judge, his granddaughter Sai, and their cook, Biju. The judge, who is a British-educated Indian, is a widower who lives alone in his large colonial mansion. Sai, who is in her late teens, has recently returned to India from her boarding school in the Himalayas. The novel also explores the life of Biju, the son of the judge's cook. Biju had left India to work in the United States as an illegal immigrant, where he faced numerous hardships and discrimination. His experiences in the United States are a stark contrast to his life in India, where he was born into a lower-class family but had more opportunities for upward mobility. The novel also delves into the lives of other characters in the village, including Lola, the judge's neighbor, and her son, Noni. The novel revolves around the interwoven lives of these characters as they struggle with issues of identity, belonging, and cultural conflict. The judge is a symbol of the conflicted identity of the Anglo-Indian community, torn between their Indian roots and the British colonial past. Sai, on the other hand, represents the new generation of Indians who are trying to find their place in a rapidly changing world. Biju, who has left India to pursue the American dream, is forced to confront the harsh reality of the American dream. His experiences in the United States are a stark contrast to his life in India, where he was born into a lower-class family but had more opportunities for upward mobility. The novel also explores the impact of globalization on traditional Indian society. The village of Kalimpong is transformed by the influx of foreign tourists, who are attracted to the area's natural beauty. However, the locals feel that their way of life is being threatened by the influx of outsiders. Desai has created a cast of complex and nuanced characters who are struggling to find their place in the world. The judge is a complex character who embodies the contradictions of the Anglo-Indian community. He is torn between his Indian roots and his British colonial past, and he struggles to reconcile these conflicting identities. Sai is a young woman who is trying to find her place in a rapidly changing world. She is torn between her love for her grandfather and her desire for independence. Biju is another character who is thriving to find the purpose of his life. He is an illegal immigrant who is forced to live in the shadows and work menial jobs to survive. The Inheritance of Loss is set in the mid-1980s, a time of great change in India. The country was experiencing significant economic and social upheaval, as it began to open up to the world and embrace globalization. The novel explores the impact of these changes on traditional Indian society, and how the influx of foreign ideas and people is transforming the country. The novel also explores the legacy of British colonialism in India and the tension between the Indian and British cultures, and how this tension has shaped the identity of the Anglo-Indian community. The Inheritance of Loss is a literary fiction novel. The writing style is lyrical and poetic, with vivid descriptions of the landscape and characters. The narrative is non-linear, jumping back and forth between different characters and time periods. The language is rich and multi-layered, with metaphors and symbols that add depth and complexity to the story. One of the main themes of the novel is the idea of identity and how it is shaped by external factors such as race, culture, and politics. Both Sai and Biju struggle to define themselves in a world that is constantly changing around them, and the novel explores how their experiences of displacement and cultural clash impact their sense of self. Sai, for instance, is striving to reconcile her Indian heritage with her Western education, leading to a sense of disconnection from her roots. She struggles to harmonize her desire for independence and self-expression with the expectations of her traditional family and community, and the novel explores how this tension plays out in her relationships with others. Similarly, Biju is faced with the challenge of navigating life as an undocumented immigrant in a society that views him as an outsider. He grapples with issues of class, race, and power as he tries to make a life for himself in a foreign land, and the novel highlights the ways in which these factors shape his identity and his interactions with others. Another major theme of the novel is the impact of colonialism on Indian society and the legacy of this history in the present day. Through the character of Judge Patel, Desai explores the ways in which the colonial legacy has left a lasting imprint on Indian society, shaping attitudes towards race, class, and culture. Judge Patel's experiences as a colonial judge have left him bitter and disillusioned, and his views on Indian culture and identity are deeply conflicted. The novel also explores the impact of political unrest on Indian society, particularly through the character of Gyan, a Nepalese insurgency leader who comes to the village to recruit young men to his cause. Kiran Desai approaches the novel with a deep sense of empathy for her characters. She takes a nuanced and complex approach to their struggles, never reducing them to simple stereotypes or caricatures. The target audience for the novel is likely to be readers who enjoy literary fiction and are interested in exploring complex themes of identity, belonging, and cultural conflict. The novel is full of intricate details, metaphors, and symbols that add depth and complexity to the story. For example, the judge's colonial mansion is a symbol of the legacy of British colonialism in India, and the tension between the Indian and British cultures. The dog that appears throughout the novel is a metaphor for the various characters' search for belonging and security. The landscape of Kalimpong, with its rugged mountains and lush forests, is a symbol of the beauty and resilience of India's natural world. The Inheritance of Loss has received widespread critical acclaim since its publication. It won the Man Booker Prize in 2006, as well as the National Book Critics Circle Award in the United States. The novel was also shortlisted for the Orange Prize and the Kiriyama Pacific Rim Book Prize. The novel has been translated into numerous languages and has been widely praised for its lyrical prose, complex characters, and exploration of themes of identity, belonging, and cultural conflict. Overall, The Inheritance of Loss is a deeply moving and nuanced novel that explores themes of identity, belonging, displacement, globalization, and cultural conflict. Kiran Desai approaches the story with empathy and sensitivity, taking a multi-layered approach to her characters' struggles. Kiran Desai's writing is evocative and lyrical, and her characters are richly drawn and deeply sympathetic. This is a novel that will stay with readers long after they have turned the last page, and it is a testament to the power of literature to illuminate the human experience. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.